What's up, guys? Figured I'd get the shop, get a little work done tonight, see how that goes. Picked up a new 4x36. My main plan for this is just to use it for flat grinding. But I got to find my magnets. Give me a moment. I got to give some credit. I took this thing out of the box, and in all honesty, couldn't hardly even figure out how to maneuver everything. So Meathead came in and set it up for me. It was very kind of him, as he set up all my grinders. I got empties heaving here. It don't look like much right this minute, but we gotta. I gotta start getting these handles shaped on it tonight. Get it out to him. So we'll be working on that tonight. I just wanted to find my magnets so I could flat grind one. And as always, I'll set it somewhere and don't remember where I put it. You know, that's what I do. I didn't get the table as cleaned off as I wanted to last night either, guys. It didn't work out. Timing didn't anyway. Let's stick this. It also has a, yeah. Now, if you ask me, could you use this to grind knives? Well, first of all, it's just a 3rd horsepower. It's just a cheap Chinese grinder. And you could, I think it would be a little less powerful than even the 1x30 just because it's so much bigger and it's the same motor. But what you'd have to do is get you the exact 4-inch piece of tempered glass and glue to this plaque. Just glue it right to the face, because as you can see, this belt doesn't hang off either side, and that would screw your plunges up. If you put a piece of glass back there so that you had that little 1/4-inch thick ledge, you could actually grind bevels on this. You know, wouldn't be a horrible starter grinder. I think this is what Mad Yoko's got. I don't know if he's here, but so yeah, you could use a 4x36. I don't think, I could be wrong about this, but I haven't seen like your high quality ceramic belts available for this. These are all aluminum outside, so that might be an issue if you can't get like really good ceramic belts for it. I've got my little red handled magnet. There it is, I think. Yeah. No idea why it would be over here. That's over there where I finish handles. Had no business over there. I'm going to test this thing out and see. This is just an old, I make these knives. I haven't even offered these for sale, guys. These are, I call it the dough baby. It's a little deer cleaning knife. It's not big. It's only 3 fingers. This is just for, you know, caping, cleaning your keel. But I don't know if y'all ever installed those, but I haven't even sold one yet. I've given a couple away to some like really avid hunters because I wanted them to test them and let me know how they worked out. And that shows we've only got one person in here. Am I live during somebody else's live? Anyway, I'm going to flat grind one of these. In my brief time of making knives, I've not been concerned about the finish of where the handle goes, but what that has turned into is a not so attractive transition from the handle to the bevel. So I've just recently started wanting to flat grind and make the whole thing look good. So anyway, I want to see how this works. I don't know if you can tell already, but this is not a very powerful grinder. In all honesty, I don't want it to be super powerful because I don't want it to, you know, thin the blade material. As you can see, doing a pretty good job of sanding that flat. And that's really all I'm concerned with. I do wish I had a little more hump, but it's a $70 Chinese grinder, so you know. Yeah, that's going to work out nice. Look, I can stop that by hand, no problem. You just kind of have to let it lay there. Man, that thing's weak. It is slowly doing what I wanted it to do, though. That's an 80 grit. I'm gonna do a little progression, go up to a slicker belt. Just want to see what kind of finish it leaves. I don't know what grit this is, but it feels a lot. Looks like it might be 400. That's a 400 grit. Well, I'll just say this, it does not feel like a 400 grit. I don't know what it is. But we're going to see what kind of finish it puts on this. Greg Medford is live. Well, I hate I'm missing that, Space Ghost. Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for right there. It's doing it. It's just doing it at a little slow, way underpowered. So I take that back. No, you could not grind bevels with this. That same little $45 1x30, because the belt's so much smaller, with this same 3rd horsepower motor, it still has way more power. That's what I'm looking for. To have the whole knife, even the parts you're not going to be able to see, finished nicely, so that the transition, especially around my ricasso, looks nice and clean. So that's a success. I may have to, as simple as this thing's set up, I may have to replace that motor one day. That's just not, that's ballless, man. But anyway, I just wanted to check that out because Meathead was nice enough to get it set up for me. But I've got other things I've got to do. Got a little drilling to do, then a bunch of grinding to do. I can't afford this new knife, so I'm okay with missing it. Which one are you talking about? Oh, the Medford? Yeah, I can't afford any Medfords right now either. After the huge loss I took last weekend, I just had a really bad weekend. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I don't have any money to do anything. I'm kind of curious to see that new knife on Space Coast. What's up, Bugsy? Gotta grind the finger tool back in it. Oh, wait a minute, I wasn't done. My bad, guys. My bad. Assuming I'm gonna have to go turn the compressor on. So I'll go knock that out right quick. I'll be right back. Well, Gotta wait on that. But while we're at it, I can get the die grinder ready to go. I know somewhere out there somebody's giving me or thinking poorly of me for buying a Chinese grinder, and I talk all that shit. But that's why I talk all that shit, because I can't buy an American-made grinder. All that's out there is Chinese. That's the situation we've created. Eventually, it'll be the situation with knives. I gotta get a fresh disc. These little drums are great, but man, you don't get much life out of them. And they're a pain in the ass to change. If I can find a fresh one. So usually I look around, they're laying everywhere, then when I want one, that's when I can't find them. So that's got it rough shaped. No point in doing any work on the face because I still got to add the pins, so that'll require grinding after that. But yeah, that's all I needed to get done tonight anyway. On this one, nice, ready for pins. I can get it all cleaned up. Hopefully that one will be done within the next couple of days. What's up, Kyle? Ed, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm glad you like it. Kyle, I got my new 4x36 that I'm using to flat grind these, and I want you to see the result. This little spot right here, it didn't touch, but that doesn't matter. All I was really, the only reason I'm flat grinding all these, I mean, you can see the steel's flat, but it's for the appearance of the ricasso. Just what little bit of handle here the material don't cover. I've not been happy with the way those look, so that's why I'm doing that. I don't know if you were here for that, Kyle, but this thing is ballless, man. I mean, absolutely ballless. But maybe that's a good thing, because that slows me down. So that right here, we've got Andrew Lyons' thug. And as you can see, there's a little spot right here that I wouldn't have even known about that. I'd have got the handles on it and then noticed that blemish. Now, I can take care of it beforehand. That's my only issue though, this son of a bitch is slow. And watch this, Kyle. I don't think you were here for this. You watching? I'm gonna apply a little pressure. Stop it. Look right there at the ricasso, how clean looking that's getting. Problem is, as weak as this thing is, it may take me an hour. Ryan, this thing needs a gear change and a turbocharger. That little 3rd horsepower motor is just not enough, man. And that's the Chinese say that it's a 3rd horsepower. Any of us who've bought machinery from these people know that they lie through their teeth about the horsepower. It's probably not even a 3rd. I'm going to step down to a coarser belt. This thing's so weak, it'd take me all night on this 400 grit. It was nice of them to add this little work rest though, and it's adjustable. See there? That's why I was thinking maybe it can make a beginner bevel grinder for a new knife maker, but it does not. It's entirely too weak. But the metal doesn't get hot. Don't have to worry about any issues with heating up. So they don't even throw sparks. Got a ways to go. I kind of wish we hadn't thrown the old one away, because I'd like to swap the motor over. It had way more power than this. But the bearings up here were shot. It's not horrible when you ran it. Yeah, I finally did it. That wasn't too bad. I didn't spend what, 3 or 4 minutes? Just doing some work. I know Kyle's excited because an issue I've had since I started is not having something with a low enough speed and less power to do this type of work with, and I was running a bunch of knives because of it. That'll work. I'm happy with that. That's not what we came here tonight to do. I just wanted to show y'all that. It is flat. It's fairly flat, but I am going to put a piece of glass behind it, Kyle. get this one rust shape. Where I can say a ton of times I had a good bandsaw, but I do not. But I'm about to. I'm actually going to cut this off with a cut-off wheel. I ain't going to stand here for 5 minutes grinding all this excess off. I can just zip right through it with a cut-off wheel. Alrighty. I made short work of that. try something. See if I can get more than one use out of this thing. I'm not near ready to finish sand that, but I'm going to touch one side. Just to see what it looks like. This belt changing process sucks. This knife is not near ready for this step. I just want to show you what this looks like. Mostly because you can't buy this. I make this handle material myself. It's the Scotch-Brite micarta. That's hardened epoxy poured onto a blue Scotch-Brite pad. And like I said, it's not finished, but when it is, this is a high gloss, and that blue really pops. Looks like electricity. Powder, huh? Y'all always making jokes. Y'all always got some funny shit to say. I do need to blow all this off. better? Well, I guess I could blow myself off while I'm at it. Alright. I gotta get some brass rods. Putting this knife. I've got some. I gotta get them cut. This is all Mad Yelko's design. You can see those white liners. Then it'll have brass pins. I'm gonna get these cut to length. Get them epoxied in, then tomorrow the epoxy will be pure enough that I can work with it. Really hard to manage your time making knives just because of the stuff like this. You know, you gotta wait 24 hours on stuff to cure. I think you can just come in and knock it all out. You can't. Where did that go? There it is. This brass, guys, when you cut or grind it, it superheats super fast. In case you ever work with any, if you've applied any type of abrasive to it, you can't touch it. I don't care if it was just for a second. I mean, it'll peel your skin off hot very quickly. There's one. There's the other. I'm going to dip these in water. It doesn't react like steel either. Like steel, you can dip it in water and it loses its heat almost immediately. Brass does not. It takes a minute to cool off. Just from cutting those off, that'd be like little uranium rods, man. They get fucking hot. So I guess we got to get over here, get us some epoxy mixed up. and get those pins glued in. We're just gonna I don't know if y'all be able to see what I'm doing, but it's not very exciting anyway. This little trick I learned, super handy. You just put you some tape down, and you can mix your epoxy up on it and not make a huge mess all over your table. Making sure they'll both go in before I get it glued up. Realize it's got a burr on it or something. Also going to take me up a spot to set the knife in case any epoxy oozes out. Where it don't glue itself to the table. I got home last night, guys. My underwear were wet. I sweat so much. And I wasn't here, but I don't know, 2 or 3 hours. That's how much sweat. Why I took that cap off. It wasn't necessary. I don't know if you were here the other night. We did a slight design change on the fret. Added this little thumb ramp in the back. And man, it gives you so much more pushing power. And it looks better. Just to be honest, that was my main concern. The design was a little too thick right here. It made it look a little bulbous. So putting that little thumb ramp in the back killed 2 birds with 1 stone. It made it look better. It made it more ergonomic. I was hoping to have frets ready to sell by right after Blade Show, but that didn't happen. Let me go snip the tips off these. get these put in, and this knife will be ready to set overnight. Let the epoxy harden. I can get it finished in the next couple of days. Ed, if you're still here, buddy, I'd love to see some pictures of that thug in Joe's sheath. Take this rod, get some glue on it, make sure I get some epoxy in the holes. I'm going to roll these pins in epoxy. Get it all over my fingers like an idiot. And insert. Of course, I dropped it. I really wish my fingers still worked. Paul, don't quote me on this, but I think they're around 70, 80 bucks, something like that. I don't want to price a man's work, but I think that's what he quoted me on thug sheaths. All right. Those pins are in. Now just to let it cure, harden. I know you guys saw stuff on that acid wash. I got to redo all that. I'm well aware. This knife's ready to go to the house. I'll be right with y'all. case y'all don't recognize this, it's the only clip point I've ever made. This is going to be given away on the Nice Chunky podcast or one of his live streams. I'm not a fan of clip points. Bob loves them, so I told him I'd make one for him to give away on his show. And this is it. I'm not opposed to making more, but I gotta get a new power strip so I can plug all this stuff in at one time. I don't ever use it all at one time. So I'm constantly plugging and unplugging them. All right. There's Joe right there. I didn't realize he was here. I'm sure he can answer that question better than I could. Joe, somebody just asked about a price for one of your sheaths. You may have saw it and already answered it. I don't know. Ed has said he just got his knife back to your sheath. I'd really like to see it. design. This one was designed by the customer. I like it all right. I don't know that it's my design language, but yeah. It's very ergonomic. I'm going to take it home and put orange glow-in-the-dark pins in it. So sit that one there. It's ready to go to the house. I don't remember if I had anything else glued up. I think that was it. I think it was those three. I gotta get some more glued up tonight. I got those frets. I've got scales ready for them, so I need to get them glued on, get that process started. Right now, it's time to hydrate. I don't know if drink water's here, but that's what we're gonna do. Still got my trusty old Dr. Thunder bottle. I keep refilling with water. If I'm here for like 6-8 hours, I'll drink this whole thing. I drink a ton of water. I haven't my whole life. I wish I had started a lot earlier. I thought maybe Meathead would be here tonight, but I forget it's Wet Your Whistle Wednesday at his house. They're over there on the patio drinking cold beers. I think they got Tipsy Tuesday, Wet Your Whistle Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fucked Up Friday, Shit Face Saturday. You can go over there and drink beer almost any time. I'll post on IG when I have some free time. Got to show it off. I've been busy trying to keep my place up and I'm trying to get everything changed over to me. Good deal, Ed. I appreciate that. I can't wait to see it. Oh no, that's not all of them. There's the knife junkie knife. I was just talking about it. Forgot about it already. Get it shaped up. This is why I say old belt. It's because they don't grind bevels good anymore. They'll still grind handle material. Y'all are used to seeing people like Jacob at very good knife companies. He's got his handles shaped before he ever installs them. Because of my disability in my hands, I can't do that. That's why I take them after they're on. Go cut this off real quick. Have it home, get pins put in it. Gosh, it's hot in here, man. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed the white foamy stuff sticking out of some of these scales. I've been using Gorilla Glue to attach some of my scales, and I think I like it better. I've done some testing. It just seems to work better than the epoxy as far as applying the scales. So I'm working with that for the time being. Oh, I can take these frets, go over here and flatten these before I have to put scales on them. That's something that needs to be done. Ideally, I would want to do this before I grind the bevels, but I didn't have this when I ground these bevels, so. But from here on out, I'll do it ahead of time. This is what I'm talking about. It's this area right here that I want to get cleaner. I just don't feel like on my older ones it was clean enough. That looks pretty damn good to me. Oh yeah. Much better. So let me find some scale material for this. Which one I want to use. It's going to be these right here. I've already installed the white liners. Yeah, it's just entirely too slow. For that purpose anyway. Now let's transfer this shape to this one. See if we can make a match. harshly. Oh. Roughen up that G10 so that epoxy will stick better. I had a set of handle scales come off. The guy told me, he's like, you guys don't know him unless y'all follow the Meat and the Mayhem podcast. But he told me that, Shane, I literally have beat the shit out of this thing. Nothing wrong with it, but he's sending it back for me to rescale it, so I'm just trying some new stuff. Make things stick better. All I'm doing here is drilling a series of small divots. Again, they're just little pockets for the epoxy to get up in and get a bite on. I felt bad about that. Those scales that scale popping off. Until I was watching the Sean Ryan show. There's a guy on there talking about that he carries a Winkler, but the handle scale came off, so he had to send it back for warranty work. I was like, well, if even Winkler's knives have a possibility of the handles popping off, I guess it's possible for anybody if you use it hard enough. Ugh. I'm getting wetter by the minute. The longer I'm here, I'll be soaked by the time I leave. Well, what'd I do with the knife? go stuff to the magic. At least I didn't have to spend a half an hour looking for it. We're down to 8 folks, huh? I don't even know what day of the week it is, man. I don't know who's live. I don't know if I'm interfering with anything. But you guys know I turn this camera on just so I don't feel like I'm here by myself anyway, so it don't matter to me. Dang it. Of course you drop it after you clean it. That's how it works. Oh, I need water. I'm not the only one using this glue. I talked to Jason at Brass Brigade recently, and he's also switched to Gorilla Glue. He's had good luck out of it, so. It's this. It's the same stuff they use in particle board, or OSB, whatever you want to call it. So I guess if it's strong enough to hold your house together, it should be strong enough to hold a knife scale on. Let's get her clamped down. Alright, back to the alcohol, clean off what's squeezed out. Now, we'll let that set overnight. That'll get nice and hardened. come through the back side, drill the pinholes. And then apply the other one. This is why you guys haven't seen Javon reviewing or taking orders on the fret yet, because that first one I got done was a prototype. I wasn't completely happy with it, but I feel like this one right here, when I get it done and nicely refined, these will be ready to sell. And these are 64 HRC Magna Cut, guys. So fret's gonna be a sweet ass little knife. Ryan, that is it's a urethane resin that is from Outcast Blanks, Mike Navarra. I don't want to lie and act like I know exactly what it is. It's not a super tough, like hard use handle material. It's not a hard use knife. This stuff here, you know, it's ugly right now. This is super hard use. This was harder to cut through with a 4.5 inch grinder and a cutoff wheel than G10 was. So, you know, this may be a little harder use knife. But those aren't hard use knives. It's not a hard use knife. None of the thugs, you know, none of these thugs have a hard use handle material on them either. This is that Noble Raffia or whatever it's called. It's acrylic pretty much. But yeah. All these thugs, when I get them cleaned up a little more, get them the way I want them, are going off for, well, I gotta figure out which one is Kathleen's. Some of us got together, make sure Kathleen got a thug. I think it's going to be this one. I'm going to send it to Kyle and let him do a little more, let him do a little hand sanding on that wood. It's just way too pretty to not have a beautiful finish on it. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet which one I'm sending it. This one, unfortunately, I got to grind the handles back off of. It sure is pretty, but I'm not even going to show you where I messed up, but I ruined these handles. They got to come off. Or maybe I'll send Kathleen this one. She liked that. Anyway, got that one clamped up. I guess we'll go flat sand this other thread right here. Get it glued up. I'm not staying here super late tonight. There's no way that's the 3rd horsepower. I don't know what that is. I'm beginning to wonder if I should take it back. Try another one, because God, that thing is super weak, man. I like the speed. I like the fact that it's a little slow, but I do not like I'm going to do these next. I don't know how popular this one's going to be, but if you're man enough to run some pretty in pink, got stuff up the backside. I think I gotta go back and do that. Gotta find the knife again. There she is. That nice alcohol free or grease free. I'm gonna get this one glued up and I'm gonna head to the house. Glued on, clamped down, ready to rock. I'll be able to install the other ones tomorrow. And then the following day, I'll be able to do the pins. Then the following day, I'll be able to do the final cleanup. So even though I only get to work on them 5 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time, whatever. While I'm here, It's that cure time that makes me have to wait for days. Now that I've got everything epoxied up, curing, doing what I want it to do, I think I'm going to call it. So, yeah, we've been at it 2 hours. That's plenty long enough. All right, guys. I'm going to take these other ones home and pour those glow pins in them and get done with that. And I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a good evening.